Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to Saturday morning's Messages of Love from Above. A big hello to all of you across the world. Hope you're having an amazing weekend and amazing moments. Before we get started, let me get my desktop set up here real lickety split quick, and we will get into it. So, welcome, everybody. So happy to have you all here. And let me just stretch the chat out here so I can see as much of this as I can. All right. I think we're good there. All right. So let's send some love out to the world to get this party started. All right. Sorry, YouTube just told me they're live. That's good. Good confirmation. Move that over. Let's move that over here. All right. So the world can always use love, sweet love, like the old song. What the world needs now is unconditional love, and we can send it out there. When one of us sends love out to the world, it can transform and help transmute a million people having lower vibrational experiences. And uh, if we join together, it not only adds to it, but when we do it at the same time, together as a group, it multiplies it. So we can make a huge impact on the overall energy of the planet. So if you'd like to join me, whether you're watching live or even on replay, we can join outside of space and time and descend and kind of just wrap the whole world in a giant blanket of unconditional love. So let's take a big deep breath, come back to right here, right now. Let all the outside world kind of fall away for a moment. And as I hit the singing bowl, just imagine and see that love flowing down into us, filling us up, our bodies, our being, our brains, our heart, our lives, and then flowing out and overflowing out to the world. So here we go. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me in doing that. And if you are new to my channel or new to these readings, welcome, welcome. We've got a great group of people, huge hearts, great senses of humor. That's a win-win combination there. Um, and before we get into the readings, I do want to make sure I share some of the free things that I'm able to offer because of my YouTube channel subscribers, the people who donate, and anyone who purchases my services that are all listed in the description box of the video. Because of you and my wonderful host that allows me to live here for free in her cellar, in her basement. It's not a cellar. um, I am able to offer a lot of free things, so I like to make sure you are aware of what's available. So each week I do have a podcast, which is called From Chaos to Cozy. It comes out every Sunday. Last week's was episode 14, which is love energy. Before that was the hedge. And one of the things I offer is a energetic hedge. And they're half off to the end of May. The regular $50 for like a 14-day process, and it's half off at 25. So if you're interested, you can check that out in the description box as well. And then, of course, we put out a pick a card each week, usually on each Wednesday. This one was the Gemini season pick a card. So every other week I do like full moon, new moon, and then once a month, of course, the sun goes into a different zodiac sign. That's what these are. And so happy birthday early to you Gemini sun babies and you Taurus sun babies. If you check out my playlist, there is a 3-month bonus birthday reading for the sun babies of the month. So Gemini, you have yours there. If you guys have any Geminis in your life, be sure to send that to them. And there's a pick a card for all of us there. And then also around the 15th, give or take a day or so, depending on what I have going on and releasing, we also put out monthlies now. I started those back up last month. Here is June's monthly for each individual zodiac sign. We break down the energies for the month. We also have kind of an over, big picture. I call it astrological zenergy, talking about the big energies of astrology for the month that Spirit wanted to point out, and that allows us to maintain our zen no matter what astrological storm is coming through, right? And if you haven't checked out your May monthly yet, here is the playlist for that. So be sure to check that out. I also put out separate videos of astrological energy, talking about specific subjects, whatever is going on. And we just went into the Uranus pre-shadow, and then also we're having Pluto retrograde. So this video talks about that, and then there's also the Zenergy playlist if you want to check those out. So all of those things are free if you are wanting any of that information. And so there you go, easy breezy. All right. So Johanna, hello, hello. Shout out to my YouTube channel members. Hope you're feeling better. I didn't see your comment about your little flu bug or stomach bug that you were having there. So I sent you some energy a little earlier. Hi, hi. So hope you're feeling a little better. Still. All right. Well, hopefully we'll send some beautiful love energy, and anyone else that needs it for your health. We send you beautiful love energy right now just to help your body do what it needs to do to feel better. And then also Grace 1111, shout out to you. It's one of my every month I give away 10 Zen Cricket YouTube channel memberships, and Grace was one of the winners for this month, and I'll have another one. And Sen as well. I see Sen. You'll see their names in green with a little badge. And Johanna is one of my regular members. So thank you so much. That is all part of the deal here. All right. So let us get into it. If you're, like I said, new to these readings, how the free readings work, I go down in order, first come, first serve. For those, the chat is the list. There is no special list. You just put your question out there, and I go through from the beginning to the end. And if you don't want to put your business out there, we get it. You can just ask for a general reading or be vague or whatever. Spirit knows what you want, and they know what messages they want to bring through. So we'll do that. But if anyone makes a donation, I do honor that energy exchange. I step outside and prioritize those readings and dive deeper, meaning I pull more cards for those. And then once I'm done, I return back and continue down the free list. To make a donation, you can use the super chat at the bottom of the chat or in the description box of the video. I do have my Venmo, CashApp, PayPal, and Square. So if you want to make a donation in any of those places for any dollar amount, I don't look at dollar amounts. I know everyone's finances vary from day to day, person to person, country to country. So I just know you're giving what you're able to, and I honor that. So that's the way it works. Boom, boom, shakalaka. All right. We're going to continue to use this beautiful deck, the Wandering Star. There we go. Tarot here by Cat Pierce, CAT, right around Cat Pierce, Pierce. She's also a singer. So if you check out her videos, she has some beautiful songs too. So I like that. All right. So let's get into it. I do have some donations, so we'll start there. I know I like that deck. It's I like their little artistry that they have in here too. I do have a lot of tarot and a lot of oracle because this is what I do for a living, and I do get bored easy. And so I have tons of different decks and stuff to change it up. So that is how those come about. Now, I did get a PayPal um, first, so we will go to that one, and then we've got the four various sticker for Supernova, Jeep, and then Infinity. So that is where we will start here. And so, love 1234. Thank you for your donation via the PayPal. And let's take a look here. And I am doing well. I hope you're doing well. Let's take a look. So, how does this person view the mamacita? Let's take a look here and see what what the impression is. Of course, whenever we ask about how someone views someone else, and I know I say this every time, you're like, I know, but this is for everyone else too. When we ask, like, how does someone perceive us or something else or da 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 da, then, it's all about we don't see the world as it is, we see the world as we are. And so we see the world through, you know, tinted glasses. Like there was this husband and wife, and the wife was looking at the window at the neighbor, and she was like, "Oh my God, don't they know how to do laundry? Look how dirty their sheets are." I just judge, 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 judge. Then the next week again, she looked and she's like, "Oh my God, aren't they going to learn to how to clean those sheets? They're so dirty. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God." And then the third week came and she was like, "Oh my gosh, look, they they actually learned how to do it." And the husband goes, "No, I cleaned our windows." So her view through their dirty windows was that that was dirty, but they were fine. It was what she was seeing through that was was different. So, that's a good I love the I love the analogy because it is, spirit loves teaching me through jokes and through stories. That's why I grasp things. So hopefully that helps. Hey, level 2, 3, 4. Okay. So bottom of the deck, got the hermit card. So kind of see them kind of to themselves a bit. Not that they're like an introvert where they're not outgoing, but they kind of feel like they're withdrawn, that they're not very transparent to them, and that tells you something about them too, right? Yeah, because on the other hand, they also see the King of Wands, which is a very strong, energetic individual, and Ace of Swords. I feel like they're see him as a bit open-minded because the Ace of Swords is about seeing things differently as well, but also very feisty. And there's this balance that comes in between that because when this they perceive Mama when she believes something, she's going to be stubborn about it. She's open-minded to a point, but if it's something that's like her strong foundation, there's just don't even. I like that. Don't even. Yeah. So, and then we have the Hanged Man. So, definitely seeing things differently from a different point of view around relationship and abundance and what the outside world looks like. So, from their perspective, they really feel like your mom sees things like, um, I don't know, just like you said, uniquely different from theirs. It's almost like they're like, Wow, okay. I've never thought of it that way before. So I feel like they see things. We'll take a look here. But there's just like some oddities. There's more cards, so I'll finish this piece of it here. And the 9 of Wands, and there is a block here, with the 9 of Wands. This is, an energetic, you know, thing. And with this Hermit, I just there is this fear, these underlying fears. Let me see what these cards are here. These underlying fears with this 9 of Wands that keeps them held back, keeps them from doing it. And I feel like there is some um like a block between it because of, that is the fear is we think too differently and we have different ideas of what a relationship can be or needs to be or has to be and must be. And that makes sense with, they've got this, uh perception that when she has her mindset on something, there's just no arguing. It's like, don't even go there. Um, yeah, yeah. And it's about relationships and life. The 10 of Pentacles can be relationship. I mean, it's the whole shebang of what life is all about, this whole big, perception of stuff. And they're like, there is this um, open-mindedness to a point, but then it's like, nope, nope, not going to hear it. Not even going to listen. Yeah. Underneath the surface, we've got the Chariot, the power of choice, the King of Pentacles, looking for their own fullness of life and wanting to roll over their own life. Um, it just feels like there's, you know, this I don't know, how would you even just say it? Just minding my own business, and I'm just going to avoid arguments, avoid differences of opinion, and they're kind of to themselves. And that Hermit card makes sense to the bottom of the deck here because you've got the Knight of Swords on the bottom, which is movement of thought and belief and communication, but also the Five of Wands, which is kind of I almost feel like two hissing cats. I don't know why there's this tension that's there, but it feels like maybe Mama has an opinion that goes directly against their own belief, and she's shared it, and they're kind of like, wow, that just kind of throws off. I don't know, open communication throws off. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, definitely. One of the cards said tension on it, the 5 of Wands. It's just like there's this, um and it's not like they had an argument and stuff. It's just like there was like this, what they're showing me is like when you discover the other someone that you care about has like they're for the other political party or the opposite religion or the opposite things that you don't talk about at Thanksgiving if you want Thanksgiving to go well. It's like something came up and they're just like, wow, and it kind of had like this, um this okay, we have a significant difference of opinion on something, and it just shakes your like, wow, what else don't we have in like we're not on board with, and I just kind of, feel that's that kind of energy there. And so that's where I feel there is a little bit off there. I don't know. Let's see. Is it about the friend? No, I don't feel like it's about a specific individual per se. I just feel like it's more about beliefs because we got the Full card, which is an ending of an old cycle, beginning of new adventure, something free from a lot of restriction and constriction. And the King of Cups is about balancing of the head and the heart. And I just feel like they're trying to figure things out. And yeah, even on the bottom of the deck, we've got, the Two of Cups, which is about important relationships, but yeah, even underneath that, we got the Justice card. The balancing out of thought and belief and mindset, with this Ace of Swords. So I just feel like there was something that was said here that just threw him for a loop, and it can, because they're reminding me just, when I discover, some really loving people in my life and family and friends and different people, and when I discovered that, they have a different political leaning than I thought they would, I was, like, taken aback by it, and it made me question, like, "What else don't I know?" I mean, this was a total shock, and that's the kind of energy that's kinda coming in there. It's just like, "Hmm." Something was said, and I don't feel like it was an argument, like, it just, like, it was like a shock to them that they believe a certain way or think a certain way or act a certain way or express themselves a certain way, and they're just like, "Okay," kind of minding their own business, kind of readjusting, and there's a whole lot of other stuff going on in their life too, and that's why I feel like they just don't have the energy and the time to, like, "Oh, I just don't wanna deal with this," because they feel like, and again, we have to look at the whole thing, it's a mirror, right? What they're seeing about themselves, and if they're like, "I just don't wanna deal with this," and that they don't, and then they have this, and again, if they think your mom doesn't um, have flexibility and stubborn and won't even be open-minded about this certain thing, um, they aren't either. So, and it'll unfold as it will. The Two of Cups is an important relationship. They see it as an important relationship, but then they're just also kind of just taken aback a little bit and trying to balance out their head and their heart, which is what, eventually it's like, okay, what's more important in your life? When you discover this, you're like, you know what? Instead of looking at differences, we focus on what we have in common, which is love, right? Love, unconditional love, and higher love. And then we don't worry about all the other things. We just don't talk about politics or religion or those things, like a friendly, happy Thanksgiving where everyone just celebrates love and what you're grateful for, not bring up discussions about those taboo subjects. No, we're not talking about that. You know, it just allows things to go more smoothly. So hopefully that helps. So many blessings to you. Thank you again for that. I know, right? And you don't have to worry. They're going to do their own thing, right? They're going to do their own their own stuff. You know what I'm saying? So we don't need to worry about that. And I'm not sure. I didn't get any other notification of did you do the additional one through PayPal as well? Things have been acting up lately. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anyone else's too. On Cash App. It didn't come through on Cash App yet. So if you want to double check that, because sometimes it acts up, because I didn't see anything on Cash App. But you never know, again. things things are acting weird. Okay. It just came through. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, I see it now. I was like, it is acting up. I tell you, things these days. But thank you. Thank you for the additional donation as well. And just it's their adventure. It's a great opportunity to let go on your end too, right? Just like, you know what? I don't have to convince anyone else. I have enough to look at in my own life. So I like it. All right. Sorry, got itchy nose today. Must be oh yeah, the wind is blowing out there. So the pollen kissing my nose. The pollen's tickling my nose. All right. So many blessings to you, love. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. And then so that was it for the ones that came through email right now. So let's hit the super stickers from Supernova. We'll start off there. And I see your additional one down below too. So let's start off here. You start off with the wonderful one, the poop emoticon. So thank you for your first donation there. And all right. So well, there's question 2. Did I Oh, there it is. Message 1 right there. All right. So messages from the spirit guides. Let's take a look here and see what your spirit guides want you to know right now. All right. All right. So let's see what this is about. The bottom of the deck here, you've got the Hanged Man, which is about seeing things from a different perspective. There's a great story about Odin, the gods, the creator of language, that started off with the runes, and he was hanging upside down with his by his foot from a tree. He hung himself upside down from the tree of knowledge and plucked out one of his eyes. Don't do this at home. This is just a story. And sacrificed it so that they could have access to higher knowledge and eternal knowledge. Luckily, we don't have to do that. Well, he did it he did it himself. It wasn't done to him. So he just felt that it was. In fact, if you see like Thor, the movies, like Thor's dad, Odin, he has a eye patch on, right? And that's because of that little unknown or now known fact. But this is about rebirth and and looking at things differently. That's still sad. If you want it to be sad, you can enjoy your sadness. But this is the rebirth. This is you looking at things differently, transforming things, seeing things from a higher perspective to where you don't have to see something as sad because you do see it as higher. That's funny that they wanted me to tell that story so that you could know that. Yeah, exactly. So you could see things differently. The full card, the 0, which is a whole new opening of looking at life as an adventure without all of these rules, and the Ace of Pentacles, new opportunities that open up in the outside world too. And so when we question our beliefs around things, the judgments that we have, that's what transforms a whole lot. Because even here on the bottom of the deck, we've got the 7 of Swords, which is becoming aware of our own deceptive thoughts that cheat us out of opportunities, steal opportunities out of our life. It's the thief, the deception, and so this is this awareness of going, yeah, what are these things that I have these stories that just seem like, well, no, that's just the way it is, and like, is it though? And that's what we get to question when it's like, oh, that happened to someone, that's sad. It's like, do we know? Is that really sad? That's a story that we've been told to believe about something, but can we question that? And we can go, wow. And it just really opens up things, right? And I like that. Wow. Yeah. And we have the ace, because you got the full card, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Ace of Swords. 3 new beginnings, 3 new ways of looking at things. The Ace of Swords is a new way of what stories are we looking at and how do we apply them. And you got the 6 of Cups. Six of Cups, on one hand is all about our childhood memories, our childhood um, belief systems, that we're all fed growing up. And it's like we're brainwashed pretty much through praise and punishment. And you can see it all over the place. Some people will be like, they're all about the stories today. Like, there was a Thanksgiving where um, uh, the mother and her daughter was, like your age, and she was gonna cook her first Thanksgiving, and the mom was showing her, you take the turkey and then you take the legs and you wrap them and everything, and the daughter's like, "Why do we wrap the legs together?" And she was like, "I don't know. We just always have done it that way." And her mom, grandma was actually there in the other room with their great grandmother. So they had four generations of moms there. And so they went out there and they go, "Hey mom, why do we do that?" And she was like, "I don't know. She taught me," and pointing to the great grandmother, and they went to the great grandmother, and the great grandmother goes like, "Oh, my mom taught me that when we were young, but back then we had these small stoves and we had, these pans, and the turkey was too big, and the turkey legs, if you didn't tie them, would burn on the side, so we had to tie them together." And they're like, "Well, why do we do it now?" And she goes, "I don't know. you know, we have bigger ovens and bigger pans. You don't have to do it." But things were just done because it was always done that way, and just we learned it. And it's when we start to question why we do things really open up. That's funny. Oh, the other thing with the Six of Cups is, we actually have, when we start thinking about all the many lifetimes that we've had and all these different experiences other than human and different universes and different dimensions and all that kind of stuff, we start to realize there's so many different belief systems, there's so many different experiences, and this is just one of the many. And I like this open mindedness of going, you know, let me take a step back and look at the big picture, which is that seeing things from a different perspective. Yeah. And then you have the hermit, which is stepping back and seeing things from, spirit's perspective from that. And then the 10 of wands is where we're investing our energy. And it's a readjustment of, we're taught a lot that all these things matter. In fact, we're taught too many things matter, right? We sweat the small things so much in our human life where we're at now. And it's this readjustment where we look at things and go, yeah, all these things are demanding attention, saying, I'm urgent. But then you realize they're not important. But we're taught, "Oh, no, they are important," and you look at it and go, "No, it's not." You really start to look at what is the most important thing, and then the Hermit card has the lantern with the star in it. That's your dream, and I like that. I like that kind of energy saying that allow this lantern with your dream in it to light your path and light your way and to show you what is important and what is not, where you can have to invest your energy and where you don't need to, and you can get that energy back and use that to guide you. So that's what your spirit guides want you to know right now for that first one. All right. And then let's look at the next one, the emoji. And let's see what number 2 is here. And so thank you for your additional donation. You're just always so gracious. I appreciate that. You want to know, what wisdom do your spirit guides want to lay down? What do they want to put down? What wisdom? Drop in some wisdom. Let's see here. I feel like they want to give you some soul truth from this self-awareness card deck by Breon Hovey. If anyone's interested in it, here's this beautiful box. Let's take a look here and see. What wisdom are they dropping? You just gotta love spirit, Am I focused on what I want most? So continuing on from your first reading, and here I'll show you this for the video. Let me do it here so you can actually probably read it on your phone if you're on a phone. So that's part of it. And then here's today's soul action. And so we'll look here. Definitely not looking. So Tony this is from Tony Robbins. It says, one reason so few of us achieve what we truly want is that we never direct our focus. We never concentrate our power. Most people dabble their way through life, never deciding to master anything in particular. Wow. So, like we are saying with the 10 of Wands, what am I focusing on? Am I dabbling into many things? I'm super focusing, getting, clarity around where am I investing my energy? Where am I wasting my energy? Or and it's not really like we're wasting energy, but where can I be more productive with my energy instead of having it go into things that don't matter, are not a priority and not important? I'm going to take all that energy and refocus it in the important. Which today's soul action says, what you focus on grows. Today, ask yourself, is my life a reflection of my values, or do I need to make adjustments? Prioritize. You just can't make it up. So there you go. Um, I feel like they're reiterating, that message about focusing in on the dream, right? Let's see what else we have here. Yeah. I just love spirit. So you've got the Page of Swords, looking at things differently from a different perspective. And here's that Judgment card. The one we get with the calling with the horn and the music. It's like, are we, adjusting the plan? Make sure that we're focusing on the dream. So this is the prioritization coming in with that. That's funny. So I like it. Very, very clear message with that one. Uh, Adding on to the very clear message of the first one. And then the third one, you got the 100% or 100 for number 3. Let's see what we got for number 3 here. There it is. So, question for spirit guides. What is your sensitivity to the zodiac moon cycle, and how does it affect the emotional state? Oh, yeah. So let's take a look here. What is your sensitivity to the zodiac signs? And that one, and then that one there. Yeah. So got the Two of Wands on the bottom here. And the Two of Wands is all about our power of choice, right? Um, so, we're all impacted by the moon, right? Everybody. That's why we used to track it when I worked in a call center and I was a supervisor, and I actually started off working the night, uh, being a manager in a night team. And we would always be like, "Oh my god, why is all this weird stuff happening? People are just like escalating like crazy." And I looked at my calendar, and it's one of those that showed the full moon, all the moon cycles, and there was a full moon on it. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh." And then, sure enough, the next month and next month, all around, and especially on the night of the full moon, and it was like, wow. And then my host, she used to be a paramedic back in her younger days, and they were like, "Oh yeah." She goes, "They would track it too." They were like, "Oh my god, the weirdest, bizarrest things." And that's why ERs are usually full on a full moon, because people are doing stupid stuff, emotionally expansiveness. And that's what happens to everyone, with the moon cycles. Everyone probably notices a couple of days before and after, especially around a full moon, you're having really bizarre dreams, very realistic dreams. And then also like a new moon, you might have some odd dreams or those types of things, and it impacts us. We are made of a large portion of water. The moon impacts the tides. We're emotional beings. The moon ruled by rolls over, emotion, and so it does influence us depending on what it is, right? Yeah, yeah, right. And it's true, it's true, and that's why werewolves, the whole thing that they turn into animals, it's based on folklore of people act crazy around a full moon, because whatever emotion you're focusing on, and here's that two of wands, whatever we focus on grows and expands. And so if we are in a fear mode or feeling down or sad or any lower vibrational emotions, guess what? Amplified. But also if you're happy, if you're like focusing on unconditional love, enjoying laughter, even more so, right? And around a full moon can induce birthing too. So there's a lot of different energies that are impacted by it, but emotionally, especially, we're all done. Now, that's everyone. Now, if you have like a water moon or a lot of water in your birth chart, or a significant water signs, or planets in um, the fourth house, the eighth house, and the 12th house, those are the houses that are ruled by water signs too. There's a variety of different things that it amplifies, that's happening. And a great thing to do is really look at yeah, right. Is realizing you can do a moon journal, and because it does impact us all differently. We're all a different type of soup. And when the planets are in a certain place, it activates, you know how like sometimes food, if you add a certain type of spice to it, it activates a different taste in it. Well, that's us. The moon and all the stars and all the planets influence us all a little differently. Collectively, it kind of like generally it does this and impacts generally this part of our lives, kind of thing. But what's great is that, um I get this book every year, but you can find it online too. But one of the wonderful things that she does with this book, I mean, there's so many good things about all this. But she has a section that's the moon through the signs, and it tells about when the moon is in that sign, just kind of a little paragraph about it. But you can find out even more online. You can just search like moon in Pisces, and then you can just read about how that moon influences. But then you can also, if you journal, like, and I you journal a lot, you can actually even, you know, how am I feeling these days? Like right now, this morning, early, well, about 5 hours ago or so, went into the moon in Gemini, and so we're in an air sign now. But Gemini is all about the, wanting at least two of things. It's the twins, it's the, kind of double-mindedness in a way, this, going back and forth on things. And we start to realize how it impacts us individually and specifically, right? Yeah. So here you have the Hierophant, which is about learning and growing, and the Knight of Cups, movement of emotion. So you learn through your movement of emotion how it impacts you specifically. And we go through the entire zodiac in 28, 29 days. It's every 2 or 3 days. And so even if you just, there's tons of websites out there where if you just ask, what sign is the moon in, you'll know, and they'll sometimes, astro.com is a great one that I look at. A lot of stuff on there are great. They offer so many free things. even birth charts and everything. But um, you can find it, and then you can track it and go, okay, the moon is in Gemini today. How am I feeling? All right, let me just do it. And then the second month and the third month. And then after you have like a few months, you can go back and look at when the moon was in that. Do you recognize patterns? Right. So I like that. Yeah. So, and we get to decide, we get to see how how things flow through things too. Six of Wands is balanced energy. The Fool is looking at things, with a fresh perspective and having this openness. Yeah, even and you got the Six of Swords too, which is and there's the big moon, there's the big full moon in the Six of Swords, leaving behind old ways of thinking and discovering and moving across those waters, the emotional waters, and realizing I get to decide. And a story, they're all about the stories today. I love it. They were reminding me, a friend of mine called me and they're actually a Gemini, which is funny. But there was like they were like, "Oh my god, what's going on? I just feel like I'm about to burst," and I'm just like, I'm so angry and I'm aggressive and, "Oh, Ron, I don't know what's going on." And I go, "Look out your window." And he looked out his window, it was a full moon. And he was like, "Oh, okay. All right, thanks. We'll talk to you later." It just them realizing, "Oh, it's the full moon." It just allowed them to go, "All right, I see it's this emotional energy and I'm adjusting it. So now I understand what the root of it is." And that's what we can do. That's what they're saying here. You know, it you have the power of how it's going to affect you emotionally by am I focusing on lower vibrational emotion or higher vibrational emotion? And that's why I put out full moon alerts, so we are aware. All right, here comes the full moon. So what am I going to focus on, right? Am I going to focus on lower vibration and experience an expansive lower vibration? Or am I going to focus on higher vibration and experience higher vibration? Neither's right, neither's wrong. We just have different experiences with it. So I like it. So I feel like that was more than for just you and me as well. So thanks for asking that question. Hopefully others learned and gleaned something from that too, because we rule our emotional choices, and we can when awareness is half the battle. It's like, oh, okay, it's a full moon. Now I know why I'm dreaming weird. Now I know why I'm, feel like crying, or now I know I'm all giddy happy and I feel like I'm going to explode from happiness. It's like, oh, that's right, the full moon. Thank you, full moon. All right. Yeah. All right. And so thank you for that one. And then your fourth one with the cherry pie. Thank you for that additional donation. Let's see, that would be number four here. So, for your guides, how much have you grown since turning 18? I feel like you've actually backslidden. I'm just kidding. That's just a joke. It's just a joke. Kurt's in the mix there. Let's take a look here. Sassy Kurt. Telling you, I don't know. You think you've grown? Maybe you shrunk. But a bunch. They're funny. Yeah. Yeah. All of these. So they're funny. Funny, funny, funny. So at the bottom of the deck, you've got all this growth, and so they're just wanting to, the overall energies since you turned 18. I mean, you really, here's this, um, the star card again, representing your dream and this focus of, you've really become comfortable being with yourself and connecting with spirit, with this too, with the Hermit card, and allowing a lot of guidance and really connecting, because you got the Three of Cups too, which is joy and celebration, but it's also a card representing your spiritual posse. So you've really got to know them and really spent a lot of time communing, becoming comfortable with them. And I feel like, you know, more so probably over the last, I'd say 3 months, you've really started to inquire more of who they are and to understand the feeling of them. And Kurt, specifically one of your spirit guides, but I feel like you're also getting to know them and you're feeling the different personalities. And I feel like it wouldn't hurt to do that a little more too, and just try to, do like an introduction. Go, all right, so Kurt, I know you're there, and I feel like, who is this? Can you tell me more about who you are? And you can, understand that a bit more too. You got the full card, which represents your soul stepping off here. And I feel like that is also part of, this whole spirituality. You really have realized a lot that you're so much more than the human, and you really have opened up more to the spirit world, that it's real and that they really are, you're so much more than the human. You're still this giant soul, this spirit being. And then, of course, asking spirit, and then asking your specific spirit guides too. And yeah, you even got the Ace of Wands. Let me see if I can focus in there. Career, beginnings, not so much travel yet, but the Ace of Wands is stepping into your power and guiding it and more consciously directing. And those are on the bottom of the deck. So they wanted to know, yeah, I mean, you've made some specific leaps and bounds in those areas. Let's see what these other cards are here. Yeah. So the Nine of Pentacles, which is abundance and your physical dream. And again, this is like the Hermit's, you know, being okay being alone. But the Queen of Cups too, which is your connection to your empathic abilities, your heart, your deep emotions. And, you've got all of this, energy around this, that you've really settled your emotions, kind of taken a position of realizing I'm the master of my own emotions, and the realization. So a lot of growth around that. Again, this alone time that you have, the Nine of Pentacles, nine's the Hermit's journey, Pentacles is the outside world. So in addition to the Hermit card underneath, you got the Nine of Pentacles, which is being okay, spending time with yourself, because it was for you to kind of take that leadership over your emotions, and to get used to that. Yeah. And then the other thing, so that's the heart, and then the mind. You got the Eight of Swords, a lot of realization around your thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that used to make you feel blinded and bound and trapped and restricted. And the Justice card here has the Ace of Swords, which helps you with this, helps you balance and realize what of your fears are, what of your beliefs are rooted in fear, the small t truths, and realizing higher truths, and, clarity of mind, clarity of emotions. And it's, you said I would have never realized. Well, when you're with yourself all the time, you don't realize it. But if you could go back in time and compare how you felt and thought a year ago, you'd be like, wow, I have come a long way in a short period of time. And I just feel like it'll continue. This The journey will continue, and it's all part of your adventure. And so celebrate, each day of like, wow, the things I've learned today. So I like that, right? And especially if you journal a lot, if you go back and look at a journal from last year around this time and just read a page, you'd be like, wow, that I just feel like I'm so much more than I was then. And I did that with, I journaled, I looked over my journal of 5 years, and I saw a lot about my patterns in my life, but a lot of like, wow, who was that? That's not even me anymore. That was just, a couple years ago, this was when I was younger, but yeah. So I like it for you. All right. So that's what they have for you right now for that one. And then we'll come back around and hit your fifth question here in a moment. So we shall return. Well, up next, we've got Jeep. So, hey, Jeep, thank you for your donation. Let's give that a love and a like there. And general reading on your financial situation. Give these a shuffle here. All right. So, what does Spirit want you to know generally about finances? All right. That one, and then that one, and that one, and that one, and those. All right. All right. So, the bottom of the deck, you've got a special card for this one, which is the Creator and the Power of No. I like this, and look at the kind of a wheel of fortune behind her head. This reminds me of the from the game show. But there is this turning in. The power of no is an important one because of the power of no. It's like you're realizing what I can say no to. What if my life around finances, around abundance, around different things that I can say no to a belief, I'm the one who gets to decide. And I feel like there's this stepping into your power of no is an important piece of your general financial message here. And then you've got these other cards. You got one, 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 two, and then two underneath. So let's see where this comes in here. All right. You got the Six of Pentacles, this balancing of energy, this giving and receiving. And it's important here. And I think we've talked about it. And I'm going to throw it back out here anyway for anyone that this resonates with. But the Six of Pentacles is all about our belief systems around giving and receiving. And here's my link to the Take 10 with Zen playlist. Episode 5 talks about the Six of Pentacles. It impacts our life so much. We've got this program that's running on autopilot below the surface, right? And there is, sorry, I was hearing something outside. I'm like, what is that? Spooky. They've got this from childhood of like what it feels it deserves, what it feels it has to do in order to receive, you know, something. And it's like we have to give 1,000 love coins, 1,000 abundant coins to get one back, right? And when we have that belief system that's running below the surface, we're not, even though consciously I want abundance, below the surface, the inner child's going, nope, don't deserve that yet. Force field, it keeps things away. And so it's important for us to go and look at that because if we leave it unchecked, it's 1,000 to 1, but we have ways to bring it down to 1 to 1 that take down these force fields that allow abundance and things to come to us. I feel like we talked about it before, but if you haven't looked at it, definitely do it because it keeps coming up, right? Yep. And then we have the 10 of Wands. And the 10 of Wands here is about this, um, the burden, the overload. Where am I investing all of my energy in? Am I investing energy in unimportant things? And being aware of it's like the ending of where I'm focusing my energy and a refocusing of it. And we talked a little bit about that. That actually would be episode 4, the one right before the Six of Pentacles. Both of these coming together, these are two areas of our life that impact us. The subconscious out of balance, and then the energy. What do I focus on my energy? If I'm focusing on lack, if I'm focusing on wanting and missing, then instead of gratitude, then what happens is I push abundance away. Because I'm wanting it, I'm telling the universe, I really enjoy wanting more money or abundance. But to want means we don't get. The wanting feeling is what we're telling the universe we like. But when we have focus on gratitude for what we do have in our lives, the abundance that has come in our lives, the abundance that we have currently, then the universe goes, oh, you like abundance, do you? Here, have some more. right? And so there's a being aware of those things is coming in here. So, and then you have the emperor. And here's the Aries energy. They really decide what they want, what what their goals are, what they're wanting to do, and they put a lot of energy behind it. It's like, okay, I'm gonna get out of my head about what everyone else thinks I should, supposed to, need to, have to. It's like, what does abundance mean to me? What does financial goals, what finances do I want, not what everyone else is supposed to want, right? I mean, I think I probably talked on the example before with where I'm at. In order to live my dream and to do what I wanted, I sold my vehicle. I, you know, downsized. I sold my condo, and I'm like, I am looking at like expenses versus my dream. I'm like, even though everyone, oh my God, you have to have a car, you have to own your own home, you have to this, all these rules that you're supposed to have. When I'm like, no, and I had a big high position in management, and I'm like, before, and I'm like, no, don't want to do this anymore. Takes too much of my emotional and mental energy and time. I was working 80 hours a week, and I'm like, no, I want to live. And people are like, oh my gosh, you're gonna walk away from that high paying job. I'm like, yeah, because I'm gonna be dead if I don't. And it's like this is that emperor energy, is ignoring what everyone else is saying and deciding what it is that you want. Yeah. Because then you have the other card, you have the mother star, which is yes, and the 10 of cups, with, the 10 of cups is about joy and celebration and, this, you know, abundance and following your heart. What makes my heart sing? Instead of, instead of going with what the mind wants, what we think we're supposed to have, this is what does the heart want, right? And, in a materialist, I'm not sure, everyone has different definitions of that, but if I'm concerned about money, then I am concerned about material world, right? If I'm focused on living and enjoying my heart, then I'm not concerned so much about, things and money and all of that. It's like that takes a back seat to living and feeling and allowing my heart to sing and to dance, right? It's like, oh no, I've got to have this and this and this in order, and it's like, well, do I? I can live in a one room house and get rid of everything if I want, right? So there is this, choosing of the heart that comes in here. Yeah, and I'd really watch those two videos, 4 and 5, because you got number 4 coming in here again with whatever you focus your energy is what grows and expands. And the Page of Wands is about, it's like this 10 of Wands, it's the readjustment. Instead of feeling the burden and that you have to do so much, when we simplify and we get down to things, then, this whole thing changes around as well. So I like it. I like that you got both the creator and the mother star with the yes and no. It's like you get to choose what you want and what you don't want. And I just feel like there's a change of perspective, and the change of energy to that of gratitude. We move from lack to gratitude. We move from 1,000 to one to one to one, and it transforms our lives. We have a great opportunity for it. So I feel like that's the general message that they're looking for here, because it's going to impact every area of your life. And I know they kind of, it feels like they, like they repeat a message until we get it from here into here, right? It's like, when it drops into our, like, I know you know it here, but when it drops into your heart, it's like, wow, it's like, I'm screwing in the light bulb. I get it. I get the light bulb, but then when the heart uh gets on board, it's like that's electricity that makes the light bulb go, Ding. Oh, wow, I understand it now, I see it. And then that's where the energy changes and things change, so hopefully that makes sense. But that's what's coming in. Jeep Jeep, so thank you again so much for your donation, I greatly appreciate that, and, I would definitely check out those 2 videos, um, because I feel like they'll give you some great tools and some great awareness that will just kind of ding, right. All right, and then Infinity, you are up next, so thank you so much for your donation. Give that a love and a like. All right. And then you want, does RM have something to tell you? If so, what? All right. And then is that other one, your free one, the spirit guidance for career this week? Is that what that one is? All right. So let's take a look here. Do they have something to tell you? And if so, what? And that's kind of the not repercussion, but this is something that's ignited from it here. Bottom of the deck, we've got the chariot, which is movement, which is power of choice coming in here. And I feel like if and we'll see with these other cards here, I just feel like they would be telling you, I got so many decisions I have to make in my life, if that makes sense. I just feel like here's one situation, here's another situation, here's another situation, here's another situation. I feel like there's like 4 things, 4 big things that they're making decisions on right now. And I feel like they just need you to know that. And let's take a look here at what these are here. Yeah. So we've got the Queen of Cups and the Judgment card. Judgment card is like the calling, it's the higher self calling the human to a different place. And the Queen of Cups, this combo is like, you know, it was so weird. It looked like someone was looking at me. Hello, they're looking to find out what is this dream that they have, and they're in this transitional kind of place of looking, and even with the butterfly wings back here, that they're trying to figure out what their dream come true is. And I feel like this is more career and job focus with them. And they're like, there's this, I'm tired of existing, I want to live. And I feel like I'm just working to live instead of living to I'm sorry. He feels like he's just existing and living to work, but instead of working something to live. And that's where they kind of feel enslaved in a way of, the job, the job, the job. And so I feel like they're really evaluating, looking for a different career, looking for a different job. And there's this huge change that's happening. Yeah. Wow. And then the other thing here, they've got the Sun and the Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands is a lot of passion, a lot of energy, a lot of fire going on, and the Sun, of course, is a lot of fire. And there's a lot of light that they're shining on their life here. This kind of energy almost feels like a midlife crisis energy where they feel like they're getting a second wind, this passion, this excitement, and that makes sense where they're like, I just want to quit my job and get a motorcycle and go on the road. This is this type of energy coming in here. And I just feel like they're at this place in their life where they do the chariot. Yeah, they just want to get into their chariot and ride. And it doesn't have to do with you. I just feel like it's this rattling and this changing that's going on in their life here. So what else we have here? Yeah. And the Wheel of Fortune, the big 10 of the major arcana, which endings and beginnings and the fate wheel turning. And this one just feels like they just need a big upheaval. They're just like, I'm ready for the wheels of fate to change and something's got to happen. I can't. There's like this energy of I just can't take this existence anymore. I want to live. And that's why it feels like this midlife crisis kind of energy coming in here. Yeah. And then they have the Page of Cups. They do want love, but this is a heightened love because the love that they've felt before hasn't filled them up because they haven't loved themselves, right? And so they're trying to, this is about trying to find their own love. And okay, and then the Empress on the bottom of the deck. We've got the Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. So they're really wanting to nurture themselves. And even the Tower card with they're wanting this change. They're wanting lightning to strike their life and burn down a lot of things so that they can restart over and do things differently in their lives. So they've got a lot of this that's going on here. And I feel like I don't feel like they're telling a whole lot of people about it. I feel like they're more, this is an internal thing that's going on, but they're just getting to the point where they're getting ready to, like walk off their their job and sell everything and just go on this road trip, kind of energy. So hopefully that makes sense with it here, but that's what's coming in um, for that one there, Infinity. And then your other one, the spirit guidance for career this week. I think that's your free one, right? So I will cover that one when I'm going down through through those free readings. All right. So we'll continue moving down the list here. Many blessings to you, Johanna. Yes. Yes. Hey, Sean G. I just saw you there. So shout out to one of my other winners of my Zen Crickets. All right. And then Nova, we're back to another poopy emoticon. And I think that was number five, I think. And then you had, I think you said yours was the messages from Kurt, right? Yeah, there he is. You're too lazy to think of a question. You know, it is not not laziness. It's openness to hear what they have to say. It's like, you know what? What do you want? What do you want me to know right now? I'm doing good, Sean. How are you? Hey. All right. So let's take a look here. What do they want you to know? Okay. So Kurt, he likes going, after I grab cards, I'm like, oh, that's right. He likes to speak to you through the Oracle. And this is the Health and the Law of Attraction cards from Esther and Jerry Hicks. So let's see here. We've got 1 and 2 and 3. They're little short ones here. Excuse me. So your first, actually, there's 4. All right. So your first one. Yeah, they want to go to this one first. So we've got look at the little flower. There he is appearing in a flower. And it says, this is card 5. Creating a different body story can create a different body. It says, you are the only one who creates in your experience, no one else. Everything that comes to you comes by the power of your thought. If there are changes that you would like to make, it'll be of great value to begin telling a different story, not only about your body, but about all subjects that have been troubling you. As you begin to positively focus, getting to feel so good about so many subjects, you will begin to feel the power that creates worlds flowing through you. Wow. Yeah, and this is about changing the story. We're the ones that choose the story of what things mean. So it's about changing the story there. And then you've got another green card, which is card number 56. And this one is when following my bliss, I avoid foods that do not serve me. Oh, interesting. So it says, as you have a desire to be slender, but a belief that eating this food will make you fat, you will feel negative emotion if you begin to eat the food. And so, if you're following your bliss, you would find yourself feeling good about eating the things that do harmonize with your beliefs, but bad about eating the things that do not. Once a desire has been established within you, it is not possible to offer behavior that you believe contradicts it without feeling negative emotion. Interesting. And then you have card number 18. Interesting card. Which says, preventative wellness is easier to accomplish than corrective wellness. So, someone who has been focusing negatively upon any variety of subjects and is now experiencing pain has to overcome the pain and focus positively. But to suddenly switch to the positive thought required to allow wellness is not likely to be a fast process because now you have the hindering pain or illness or both to contend with. Preventative wellness is far easier to accomplish than corrective wellness. But in either case, improved feeling thoughts of greater and greater relief are the key. So coming back to thoughts again with that one. And then the fourth one is this one here. I love the little artistry of these. And card 10, my body responds quickly to my patterns of beliefs. And it says, as you imagine and visualize and verbalize your new story, we're going back to the stories again, in time you will believe the new story. And when that happens, the evidence will flow swiftly into your experience. A belief is only a thought you continue to think. And when your beliefs match your desires, then your desires must become your reality. There is no physical body, no matter what the conditions, that cannot achieve an improved condition. Nothing else in your experience responds as quickly as your own physical body to your patterns of thought. So, a lot of thinking about the body, and changing the stories that you have up here, which impact your overall body. So, that is the message from Kurt. So, there you go. Right, very good. Thanks, Infinity. All right. So that's what they have for that one, Supernova. Thank you again so much for your donations. And then, Johanna, you'll be up next here after Patty. Maria, not Patty. So, Maria, thank you so much for the donation via the PayPal. And you're here for the weekend checkup on David. All right. Hello. All right. So thank you for the donation. So let's take a look here. So did he think of you today? Let's take a look here. All right. And if he did, what did he think here? All right. And then what are his intentions? Is that one. And has he searched you? Has he done the background check on you, huh? We'll take a look here. So we got a full moon in Sagittarius coming next week. And so the moon energy is important for you here. There's I think it's the 22nd, 23rd. Let me see here. Let me just grab the little book here because it's on the 23rd. Yeah. So Thursday. So there'll be next Wednesday, there'll be a pick a card coming out early in the morning, really midnight on Tuesday, which is first thing Wednesday morning. Really, really look into the use of that release energy for you around Sagittarius. I feel is important for you there. All right, you're here. You're here. So, did he think of you today? Two of Wands. We've got that here. So we do have, on one hand, one thing, on another hand, another. So I do feel like with this Two of Wands that there is this, you know, uh, thinking that was happened here because but I feel like their hands are full, right? So they did think of you amongst other stuff as per usual with them right now. And what are his thoughts? All right. So, 2 knights, action, action. We got the Knight of Wands, which is the movement of passion, and the Knight of Swords is movement of thought and belief and mindset too. So that does show that there was thinking and movement of thinking, and of course there was some passionate thoughts there too that came in there. So definitely this nice um, uh, combo, I think, between those two. Because the action of thought and the action of passion, was there, and there is a little bit of confliction with that too, right? You're like, "Uh-oh." So we've got this, this energy that's there with, um, I want to say mixed, mixed messaging. I feel it's more of an internal, not a conflict that's towards you, but it's like you know, the thoughts of, well, stop that. You're not, that's not the most important thing. No, not confliction bad, just more like, you know, it's like if you were thinking of him and you're like, oh, I wonder what you're like, oh no, that's not the most important thing, you know, not get it out of your mind, but it's like, come on now, let's look at this properly. That's like that kind of energy. All right, stop. Let's look at it, not respectfully. Well, maybe respectfully. It's like, you know what I'm trying to say, I think. Yeah, and then the magician and the star. So two major arcana, which was what are his intentions. We got the action, with the magician, the movement. We've got the star, which is balance and dreams come true and things like that. So there is this, energy of the intentions of letting things unfold, but also there's this desire with the magician card, which is divine masculine. I want to, take action on things. But the star, is their overall dreams come true. And we know that is like wow, just oh wow. It's like a notebook with 80 tabs on it, and there's all this stuff. They have so much high bar, high expectations for their life on what's supposed to happen and relationship and all that is one tab out of 80. I just see this like, you know, if you ever have seen movies where they're like, all right, everybody, sit down for this meeting. We're going to be here all day. We're going to go through all these different areas. There's 80 to go through. We're like, oh, God. I feel like they have this overwhelmingness. They want to take action, but there's also, they want to take action on all these other 80 tabs that represent their dreams come true. But this isn't their dream. This is the dream that they've been, brainwashed with going through their life, right? And let's take a look here. Did he search you up online? Let's take a look here. Wow, all these all these energies here. Yeah, I feel like with the High Priestess card, which is the revealer of the unknown, she goes back to our High Priestess temple, dives deep, looks into the hidden and the unknown, looks behind the veil, connects higher. So I feel like they did do a little bit of reflection here. Um, but not a ton because I just don't feel like they have a whole lot of time, You know what I'm saying? And so we've got the full card here, which is, this freedom, this adventure. They want it to be an adventure, is kind of like what's happening here. They don't want to, I feel like they're getting kind of overwhelmed with this long list of the dream. And I feel like they're just wanting to be free from all this pressure they have themselves under, and they just want to have an adventure. So I feel like it's important, and maybe we talked about this a little before about just allowing it to unfold. Don't have a whole lot of expectations. Don't try to put him in a cage. Don't try to push. Just allow it to unfold, because I feel like that's an important piece. Because they've got the Three of Pentacles too, which is about them being true to their authentic selves, not being told who they're supposed to be, should be, need to be, have to be. And that's why I feel like they're getting to that point. They're about to chunk that big notebook. Yeah. And I like it here. I mean, we've got the King and Queen of Pentacles, divine counterparts coming in here too. So they do see the compatibility. And but I just feel like, they're at this point of just wanting to not have the pressure of this long list that they've held themselves under for so long. So I feel like there's some freedom coming from it, where they're just like, ready to chunk the whole thing and try to discover what they want instead of what they feel like they're supposed to want. Yeah. And it makes sense when they're trying to make an 80 tab dream come true, right? It's like, I'm exhausted just thinking about it. So, but that's what I feel is coming in right now for that, Maria. So, uh, fun things. All right. I know, right? All right. So many blessings to you. Thank you again so much for your donation. Yep, it just feels like it's progressing. It's kind of waiting for them to, just to become overwhelmed, so overwhelmed with everything that they just, ugh, I'm just going to be me. And you're like, yay, there you are, instead of, them trying to be this, all that. You're like, you don't need all that, you can just enjoy life, but you can't tell someone that. They have to get to that point of emotional mental breakdown, right? I can't do it anymore. I don't want it anymore. And you're like, good. And it's the like the 10 of swords energy, where people are, if you ever see like the um 10 of swords is like someone laying down, looking away at the sunrise, 10 swords stuck in their back. They're not dead, they're exhausted, trying to live up to, all that stuff. So, whenever my friends reach out and like, I just can't take it anymore, I'm like, great, congratulations. They're like, what were you so happy for? I want to give up. And I'm like, that's good. You giving up all those roles and supposed to, you can be free and it can be you now. And they're like, what? It's like, yes. And that's what I feel for them. So I like it. All right. So thank you again, Maria. Many blessings to you. All right. And then Johanna, yay, the rainbow unicorn. Thank you so much for your donation. You want an update on JNU and anything your guides want you to know about this? All right, let's take a look here. You're very welcome, Maria. All right. Update. What your guides think you should know. Nope, just those. All right. All right. So let's see what we got here. Looks like here there's a road that feels like, because you got one card, then two cards. Feels like there's this path that's going to have these choices coming up here. Bottom of the deck, yeah, you've got, yeah, makes sense here with the Emperor too, and the Ace of Wands. Wow. Yeah, so the bottom of the deck, the first two cards were the Ace of Swords and the Page of Pentacles, a new way of looking at things with a new opportunity. And then you also have the Emperor and the Ace of Wands. So all of this, two aces and a page, all those are like new, 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 new. So there's about to be some changes. There's about to be some action here, um, which makes sense with this coming to kind of coming to fork in the road. But the Emperor is you making the choice, right? That's that Aries energy. I'm gonna decide what I want, and I'm gonna put energy into it, putting a plan and putting energy into it. So we'll see what that is all about here. So your first card that came up down here is the Four of Wands. It is joy, it's celebration, gatherings. Um, it's the marriage cards too. It's the union card. Um, so let's see what this is about. King of Wands. So here is this Emperor energy kind of coming in again too about choosing what I want and moving towards something, right? And let's see what this third card is. The Two of Pentacles. So there's the two choices that are coming up here. So that makes sense here as we come up here. And so I feel like there's this, you know, wanting partnership, wanting union, and I feel like this is your energy, and it's like, all right, this is going to go one of two ways. And we're about to see what the one of two ways is, or the two ways are, but you get to choose. I don't feel like there's a wrong choice before seeing these cards. I just feel like you can choose, and um, I don't feel like it's like you have a fated like relationship. I feel like that's why it's optional what you want to do. There's not like well, no, it's destined, too bad. So it's going to unfold, just be patient. Sit still, be patient and shut up. It's coming, right? It's like, no, it's not that. It's like, wow, this is all up here, right? Yeah, yeah, I feel like and maybe, you know, this, with this particular individual, I don't know if it's necessarily just them, there's a little bit of a tint of that, um, you're in love with romance, you're in love with the idea, you're in love with this, seeing what it would bring, and it's like, it's not to the extreme of like, "Oh, you'll do," you know? It's like, "I need this position filled." "Yeah, you, come over, you can fill this position." It's, you're a little more pickier than that. But I feel like it's, like, more of being in love with the romance than, that the individual, it's like, well, they have enough, and I feel like you a little bit in maybe, attracted to the possibilities of who like, their potential, not who they're showing you they are yet. You kinda just like, "This is who they can be, and that would be good for this. For this, I could see this," right? But and I know I did that, like, 5 times. I learned, I'm like, "Oh, I because of our spiritual empathic abilities, I can see someone's potential, but that doesn't mean that's what they're gonna do." Alright, let's look at the 2, the 2 roads. So one of the roads yeah, is the Eight of Pentacles, which I felt that was gonna be coming up here with the Nine of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles is you've been putting in the work and on yourself and, the caterpillar going into the cocoon and doing the transformation and coming out the butterfly and going, why are you still a caterpillar?" Right? And that means it comes to this fork where I'm a butterfly. I need to go do butterfly things and go fly. I'm not carrying you. I can't. One, you're too heavy. even if I wanted to, but 2, I don't want to carry you, and if you're not willing to be a butterfly and to transform, you can't go where I'm going anyway. So, this is the 9 of Pentacles choosing your own self, the hermit's journey, at least in this particular situation for now, till you find butterflies. Um, that's the one route, and that's the higher route, which is what the 8 of Pentacles is. It's like when 2 people are going on a path and one changes and one doesn't, one flies, this one can't fly. That's where the separation kind of happens, right? And yeah. And the second one, which another 9, 2 nines. But the other option is the mutual attraction, mutual physical and energetic attraction, but the 9 of wands is hitting a barrier, hitting a wall. It wouldn't go it wouldn't go much beyond physical and energetic attraction with that. So there we go. That's what you need to know about this. You're like, crud. But, you know, it's a good clarity that's important, um, with it. Oh, all right. I don't feel like we're telling you anything you didn't already know. It's good to put it into perspective and kind of has some clarity around it going, yeah, eventually the butterfly would flutter away. Even if it's like, the butterfly's like, well, I'll walk with you. I won't use my wings. I'll walk alongside you, caterpillar, because you can't fly. So we'll still do this, right? And then it's like, after a while, like a nice breeze comes and it grabs your wings and it makes you, oh, I'm falling. Oh, it's a great acting job of, oh, the wind's taking my wings. I can't help. Oh, help! Bye. And the wind takes you away, and you're like flutter, flutter. You're like, oh, what a great feeling. I'm me. I get to be me instead of, you know, limiting myself. All right, so that's what they have for you, Hannah. Hang in there. Hope you're feeling better too. So many blessings to you. Thank you again for your donation. You're welcome. All right, and then Infinity, let's give that donation some love and a like here. And you want to know, did RM want to tell you something last night, but you accidentally cut him off? Was he sad about the group? Have I specifically made a positive? All right, let's take a look here. All right, I'm just going to take a quick sip here too. Yep. Yes, Nova. Let's see. Yeah, and just right before Johanna and Maria. So if you go back, you're a couple, like 3 back. All right. So first of all, Infinity, we'll see here. Did they want to tell you something last night, but you accidentally cut them off? I'm just kidding. In your excitement, you cut them off. Let's see here. And was he sad about the group? I feel like that. It's those. And have you specifically made positive impact? And I want, come on, that right here. All right, we'll find out what that's about here. There's like one card that what's the energy of didn't want to we didn't want to get revealed, and so we'll see what that's about here. You're welcome. All right. So, did they want to tell you something and they got cut off here? Yeah, I feel like they did here with the full card and the Page of Pentacles. They wanted to talk about a new beginnings. So that's so funny because this is like what we were talking about, what they're wanting to do, right? And so I feel like they were talking about they probably wanted to, talk about this reboot, this restart of their life, this, what they're wanting to do, and you know, the what they wanted to, you know, head off to and do, was he sad about the group? Let's see here. No, I don't feel like they were sad about it. We've got the Strength card. They've got the Three of Cups, which is joy and celebration, and the Page of Cups, which is a heightened. So it almost feels like they were um, excited about whatever happened in group. I feel like that it's interesting, Infinity, as you can tell, because it's like it's not that they were excited about what was happening and with the group and stuff, but that this thought of them leaving and going made them relieved and allowed them, because they're like freeing themselves from a lot of expectations. Like when they have this feeling like, I don't know how long I'm going to be here. Um, so I'm going to allowed them to enjoy it. Whereas before, with their high expectations and all these supposed tos and shoulds and need tos and whatever, they're like, "Ugh," it's like groups are oppressive to them. But when they are realizing and releasing themselves from all these expectations, they were actually able to enjoy it, if that makes sense. So that's what's coming in there. Um, and have you, specifically made a positive impact? Let's take a look here. I feel like you have here with this. Because you have the 7 of Pentacles in the middle, which is the last thing that grows on the fruit tree is the fruit, and we've got the 5 of Pentacles, which is about, these thoughts of abandonment, being left behind, being left out in the cold, not being enough, and with this Ace of Pentacles, this is about looking at our worth in relationship to the outside world in a different way. This is the fruit that's grown through this. So I feel like in a way with this energy I'm feeling with this that you've kind of helped them believe in themselves in a way. I'm not sure how you did that. The bottom of the deck is the Magician. Oh yeah, and you got the Death and Rebirth card, the Emperor, the King of Cups, the Ace of Cups, the Three of Pentacles, all this energy on the bottom of the deck, and the Knight of Cups. There's just you've really given them a lot of thinking, a lot of believing in themselves, made them think a lot, and I feel it in a way. Oh my gosh! And they got the Knight of Swords, the King of Wands. All this energy combined just feels like the impact that you had with all this is that you just, and it can just be a belief in them and that they felt the energy of like you um in a way, I kind of feel like I want to phrase it that you allowed them to see themselves through your eyes, if that makes sense. And they're like, wow, because it allowed them to bring this low way of thinking about themselves into, the light. And sometimes when we have such shadowy, dark thoughts about ourselves, when we keep them in the dark, they're easy to believe until we bring them out into the light, and then we're like, "Well, this is silly that I would think of myself this way," especially when, like, I feel like you and I don't even know if you voiced it, maybe you did, but I feel like just your energy and they could feel how you perceive them in a way, where like you believed in them, if that makes sense, and because of that, they began to believe in themselves, and I feel like it was enough to kinda get the dominoes going where they've been doing a lot of stuff and they're realizing, "Why am I trying to be who I'm not? I wanna go be me," kind of energy coming in. So, that's what's there. Yeah, okay. And the thing in the again, the thing that didn't wanna get revealed is the Ace of Wands, like, the beginning, this new adventure, because 'cause they've got career beginnings and travel, right? Like, I'm gonna take off. I'm gonna have this new beginning, and we talked about travel, like, I'm gonna go on a vacation. I'm gonna, you know, sell everything and buy a bike and go travel. It's that kind of energy that's coming in. So interesting. So hopefully all that makes sense, Infinity, but I do feel like they're just getting ready to make a big drastic extreme change of life and go, right? Right. I'm glad that helps. But yeah, definitely. Wow. I love it. And we all get to that point sometime in our life where we're like, I just can't take it anymore. And whoosh, we make a change. When the ugly feeling of not being ourselves outweighs our fears, that's when we take action. And I feel like the scales have yeah, the scales. Whoops, the scales have altered. All right. So you are very welcome, and thank you again for your donation. I greatly appreciate that. All right. And hey, Brenda, wink, wink. Hello, hello. Good to see you. Thank you so much for your donation. And let's see here. We're getting close to the end. So for everyone else that's been patiently waiting for their free readings, I'm not going to probably get to a ton of them before I head off to go spend time with my praying mantis members. But I will come back on and finish all free readings. So it just might be back in a couple hours. So, all right. Brenda, let's take a look here. General for today. So let's do general for today and then also for love. All right. So the general for today, yeah. Well, all this thinking. The bottom of the deck, you do have the Six of Swords, which is movement of thought and belief and mindset. You also have the Justice card, which is about the balancing out of thought and belief, because she has the Ace of Swords here. So I feel like the general for today is that you might be, well, we did go into a Gemini moon for a couple days. So we're all being drawn from our heart into our head in regards to our heart. A lot of thinking, a lot of looking at different things, right? And, especially with you getting the Hanged Man, which is about seeing things from a higher perspective, a different perspective. That's that Ace of Swords energy, seeing things from a place of unconditional love. And then you have the Two of Swords and the Four of Swords. You got peace of mind, mental stability. You've got the Two of Swords, closing your eyes and opening your heart. But the Two of Swords can be also, you know, this Gemini kind of energy of, um, allowing your heart and your mind to have a seat at the table to go, let's have a chat. Let's just, sit down my heart and my head and let's just talk. Let's see what's going on in here. So I like that for you. I feel like it is a day of reflection that's coming in here for you. And let's see here about love, what we have coming in here. Okay. Yeah, I see here. So, I mean, you've got the Three of Cups coming in. So, this is joy and celebration, but there's also this third party type of, almost, I feel like you have two love interests, because you have the Lover's card too, which is about emotional choice. So, with the Three of Cups and these coming out together, it's like, all right, what's going on here? Let's take a look. And you got the Nine of Wands, which is also about, An energetic block when it comes to love, and we've talked a little bit about this right now. It's like you've got this, you know, I don't know how to say it appropriately on YouTube, but if you ever have like you're ever at an event and you have a best friend and some person, some player is headed your way and your best friend intercepts them and keeps them from getting to you. That's what I feel Spirit's doing doing right now for you. Oh, just Billy Matthew Eric? You're like, 3? But this is this block. They're keeping them away because of this the mother star, which is a yes here. And I'm gonna read this. This is a special card for this deck. That's funny. So they're like, and Spirit is also blocking. So there's not gonna be progression with it as far as love. It might just be, you know, passion, physical intimacy, but it's not emotional, right? At least on their end. So this card, the Mother Star, says the path that has led you to where you are today has been full of twists and turns. There may have been times when you doubted yourself and lost faith in your guides. The Mother Star's appearance means you're coming to a place now where you can look back and see that every setback served a purpose and every failure taught you a much needed lesson. The strength, courage, and character you've gained along the way have made you into a unique and resilient person. It's time to step up and embody your full potential. The mother star holds a cup and a sword. She wears a pentacle around her neck and is flanked by wands. Her journey and soul exploration connect her in a balanced way to each suit of the minor arcana. And if she appears in a reading where you have a specific yes or no question, she represents a resounding yes. Her guide, the gentle, three eyed, winged tiger, is also here to offer you assistance, vision, and strength as you embark on this new chapter of transformation. And there's a quote from Ernest Hemingway that says, "Live the full life of the mind, exhilarated by new ideas, intoxicated by the romance of the unusual." I like that, especially that last part, because, this is about not pursuing the romance of the usual, right? Not doing what we've done before and get what we've always gotten. There's about looking at things differently. And with this change, that you'll end up with someone unusual, which will be different for you and something more in alignment with your high heart. So is Billy unusual? Yeah, right. Too funny. But yeah, so definitely there's this yeah, so it's different, right? And and it's important because a big part of the process is understanding, that they can't give you what you're looking for, right? And that you find that on the inside, and then it's unusual because it's not trying to find your heart fulfillment in someone else. You're finding it within you, and you have someone else who's of a different vibration, a higher vibration than you normally are drawn to and draw into your life, right? And we do see things differently. So I like that. How fun. I like that you're best friends. Don't do it. Don't do it. They're channeling spirit for you. Too funny. But that's what they have for you, Brenda. Wink, wink. And thank you again for your donation. I greatly appreciate that. All right. So let's take a look here. I'm going to be headed out of here in like 5 minutes. So let me grab screenshots here. Let me move some stuff out of the way here so I can get these better. All right. So I will come back and complete all the free readings. I'm going to go spend about an hour with my Praying Mantis members, and then I'm going to eat, and then I shall return and complete all those out. And then I also will be back tonight at 6 p.m. Mountain Time and tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. And if you guys want something to look at in the meantime, I'll give you some links to the June monthlies are out. And then if you haven't checked your May monthlies yet, we also have those. If you're wanting to get those overall energies and Gemini season. So there's a bunch of different free content that you guys can check out too, just to get a kind of an energy forecast of what is unfolding there. All right, so I think I've got all those. And then here, let me give you the links here. So here's the Gemini season, which is coming up starting next week on the 20th. And then here is the June monthlies for your convenience, if you guys would like to check any of those out. The May monthlies, if you want to know for the next couple weeks left. And also, we've got some great energy going on with Pluto and Uranus. So if you want to check out how the retrogrades are impacting us, because these two are way out in the solar system. So like months and months and months, their energy will be impacting us. So you can make the most of that. And then also I have, of course, my podcast series, my From Chaos to Cozy, which is filled with tools and experiences with spirit on how we can make the most of our journey we come from cozy down to here to chaos, and then we're on our way back to cozy, the things that spirit has brought. And also I have half off of my hedges of peace and love. They're usually $50 for 2 weeks. And if you check out the description box of the video, it'll tell you all about them. And they're half off. They're $25 till the end of May. So if you're interested, you can check it out. All right, everybody. Well, I'm going to head over to my Praying Mantis session there. And so I will come back and complete all the free readings in about, let's see, it's almost 1 to probably an hour and a half, because it looks like it's going to storm, so I'm not going to go anywhere. So after I eat, I'll come back on and we'll give all the free readings. All right, everybody. So remember, as you're going through each and every second of every day of your life, that you truly are eternally and unconditionally loved by the Mother and the Father of all things, our Creator. And of course, I love you guys too. So till I see you guys again, enjoy the rest of your day or night, depending on where you're at in the world. Until I see you, much love to you. Hang in there. Take care of yourself, and we'll see you soon.